first time Daniel saw her, she was standing near the corner table of a quiet cafe, sunlight slipping through the window and catching in her hair like something out of a dream he didn't think he deserved anymore. He hadn't planned to notice anyone that day. His life had become a predictable loop of work, home, and caring for his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. But something about her stillness, the way she looked around like she didn't quite belong anywhere, pulled his attention. He told himself it meant nothing, just another stranger in a city full of strangers. But then she smiled at Lily. That was the moment everything changed. Lily, who rarely warmed up to anyone new, smiled back instantly, clutching her little juice box and whispering, "Daddy, she looks nice." Daniel hesitated, then gave a polite nod. The woman walked over, introduced herself as Emily, and within minutes Lily was giggling like she'd known her forever. It felt easy. Too easy, maybe. But after years of loneliness, Daniel didn't question it. He couldn't afford to. Days turned into weeks, and Emily became a quiet but constant presence in their lives. She would meet them at the park, bring Lily small gifts like storybooks or ribbons for her hair, and sit with Daniel on the worn-out wooden bench as the sun dipped low. She listened, really listened, when he talked about his late wife, about the sleepless nights, the fears of failing as a father. And when she spoke, her voice carried a softness that made him believe in something he thought he had lost, the possibility of starting over. Daniel found himself falling, slowly at first, then all at once. He memorized the way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was nervous, the way she laughed with her whole heart when Lily said something silly. He didn't realize how deeply he had fallen until one night, after putting Lily to bed, he sat alone in the dark and whispered her name, like it was already a part of his future. But love, the kind that comes quietly, can sometimes hide louder truths underneath. There were moments, small, almost invisible cracks, that Daniel ignored. Emily never talked about her past in detail. She avoided questions about her family. She never invited him to her place, always saying it was complicated. Once, when he jokingly asked to see her ID after she forgot her wallet at a restaurant, she froze, just for a second, but long enough for doubt to flicker. Still, he brushed it off. People have their reasons, he told himself. Not everyone is ready to share everything. And after everything he had been through, he didn't want to lose this fragile happiness over suspicion. Months passed, and their bond grew stronger. Lily began calling Emily her almost mom, a phrase that both warmed and terrified Daniel. He started imagining a life where they were a real family again. School runs together, dinners filled with laughter, holidays that didn't feel so empty. So one evening, under the soft glow of streetlights, he decided to take a step forward. He told Emily he loved her. The words came out steady, but his heart pounded like it was hanging on the edge of a cliff. For a moment, she didn't respond. Her eyes filled with something he couldn't quite read. Fear, maybe, or guilt. Then she smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "I love you too," she said softly. That should have been the beginning of everything. Instead, it was the beginning of the end. The truth came crashing down in the most unexpected way. Daniel was at work when he received a call from Lily's school. A woman had tried to pick her up, someone claiming to be a relative. Panic shot through him like lightning. He rushed to the school, his mind racing with worst-case scenarios. When he arrived, the staff assured him Lily was safe, but the description of the woman made his blood run cold. Blonde hair, soft voice, gentle smile. It was Emily. Daniel couldn't breathe. None of it made sense. Why would she do that? Why lie? That evening, he confronted her. At first, she denied everything, her voice trembling, her eyes darting away. But when he pressed harder, when the hurt in his voice broke through whatever walls she had built, she finally shattered. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered the truth he never expected. Emily isn't my real name." The words hung in the air like a storm waiting to break. Her real name was Sarah. She had been living under a false identity, running from a past she refused to fully explain. She admitted that when she first met Daniel, she hadn't planned to stay. She had her own reasons, desperate, complicated reasons, for getting close to him. But somewhere along the way, things changed. Her feelings became real, or at least that's what she claimed. Daniel felt like the ground beneath him had disappeared. Every memory, every smile, every moment they shared suddenly felt tainted. "So what was real?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. She didn't have a clear answer, and maybe that hurt the most. In the days that followed, Daniel kept his distance. He focused on Lily, on protecting the one thing in his life that had always been real. But the absence of Emily, of Sarah, left a hollow space he couldn't ignore. Love doesn't just disappear because the truth is ugly. It lingers, complicates, refuses to let go. One evening, as Daniel sat alone after putting Lily to bed, he found a letter slipped under his door. It was from her. She didn't ask for forgiveness. She didn't try to justify her lies. She simply told him the full truth about the danger she had been running from, about the mistakes she had made, and about how meeting him and Lily had been the one real thing in her life. "I never meant to hurt you," she wrote, "but I know that doesn't change anything." Daniel read the letter twice, then a third time, and for the first time since everything fell apart, he didn't feel anger, just a quiet, aching sadness, because sometimes the hardest truth to accept isn't that someone lied to you. It's that despite the lies, a part of what you felt was still real. And now, standing at the crossroads of trust and heartbreak, Daniel had a choice to make: walk away forever or risk everything again for a love that might never be the same. If this story touched your heart and you want to see what Daniel decides next, whether love can survive the truth or if some lies change everything forever, make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay with us for more powerful, emotional stories that stay with you long after they end.